Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you all grinding well in Warframe. In Fortuna to be exact. We're gonna be taking a look at the Nagantaka today. Nagantaka, pretty cool funky name. Not exactly Fortuna content, but I think this is a part of Garuda's collection, which was released together with Fortuna. So yeah, let's see if this is a good enough primary to take out into the Valis. Starting with the looks, I'ma keep this as short as possible. A solid 6/10 for me. Not that it looks bad, it's just that this crossbow fails to arouse me in a significant way, even with all the blood, because apparently this thing squirts out blood each time you launch an arrow. Where that blood comes from, I do not know. It's as if this thing's running through its period or something. Okay, bad jokes, sorry, moving on. You may like the design, which I find to be fairly aggressive, and color customization wise, it's fairly good. I mean, you can make it fit into any specific theme with the rest of your build. Moving on quickly to the stats. First two things I see are the crit and status chances. The Nagantaka has a 15% crit chance and a 39% status chance. They're pretty good really, something you can build on for sure, but later on I'll explain why I think that the crit chance on the Nagantaka should be higher, or at least given precedence over the status chance. Yes, I know status is better, and while it may look like you can kinda make a hybrid build work here, it's the firing modes, semi and burst to be exact, that become the reason why I think this should have been more of a crit weapon. As for the other stats, a crit multiplier of 2.3x is nice. Keep note that the Nagantaka is a silent weapon, but only in the semi-firing mode. For some reason, burst is just loud enough to alert enemies, and while the reload speed of 2 seconds is kinda slow, performing headshots with this crossbow will decrease that reload time. It's a nice perk, and I have tested this. Found that you can drop the reload time down to about 1.5 seconds, but that's only for the next or following reload, and not for a specific period of time for, let's say, like 10 seconds or 20 seconds, not like that. Time for the power test. Now, I don't have a list for comparisons against other crossbows. In fact, the only crossbow I ever tried was the Attica a while back. Even had a ribbon for it, but overall I really didn't like how the projectile mechanics worked and never bothered with the crossbows again. So anyway, the Nagantaka has some respectable DPS, especially in burst firing mode, but this isn't really a 100% representation of its performance, because although theoretically it may appear that even the Phantasma has better DPS, in the real world and against a level 20 Nox, the Nagantaka performs exceptionally, taking only about 10 seconds. All these tests are done with no mods, unmodded weapons, just need to keep reminding some of you. But anyway, in burst mode, it gets even better, practically tied with the calm, although in the real world they would feel quite different from each other. And this is where I kinda felt meh about this weapon. While the semi-firing mode is nice, especially because it's silent, pretty useful for those ribbon challenges sometimes that involve not setting off alarms, the burst firing mode just empties the clip. Whatever you have remaining in the magazine just gets shot. Now, while this may be helpful against tougher enemies like a Nox or Grineer Wardens, perhaps even bosses, it's just wasteful in most scenarios because you can't control the fire rate. There is one way you can interrupt or cancel the burst fire, and that is through rolling. But yeah, but that's how burst is supposed to work, you noob. Yeah, I get it. All I'm saying is I wish it was more like the Tiburon's burst mode and not just an all-out empty the cache and reload firing mode, especially with the slow reload speed. Alright, now on to the favorite part for most of you guys, or the part where you can heavily criticize me if you want. The mods. If you have any input or suggestion, then feel free to leave a comment down below, brother or sister. Surely we can all improve our modding game with a rational discussion. So I'm gonna let you know that these builds, the following builds, are tuned for the semi-firing mode, meaning damage per shot is given priority over total DPS. People may suggest you increase the magazine size to maximize the burst firing mode, but an extra 3 shots is not worth it in my opinion, for the semi-firing mode at least. Now considering that you deal crits, this build here will get you about 8100 damage per shot, 100% status and 37.5% crit chance. That's not too bad if you ask me. Since this crossbow is a slash weapon, it only makes sense to go for viral. As you can see here, with a double 60-60 setup and just a hammer shot, status is already at 100%. But if you're willing to drop that down for a little more damage, then I think this variation makes for a really solid hybrid build. Just replace one of those 60-60 mods for a plus 90% elemental, preferably cold or poison, and you got yourself a total damage of 8764, almost 22k DPS in semi-firing mode. That's not too shabby, especially considering that your status chance is damn near 100%, 97.73. I'll take that. And in burst mode, you'll do double damage at almost 51k. I just wish that the Nagantaka had a base crit chance of 20%, because in that case, with this mod setup, you'd be looking at all these numbers and a 50% crit chance instead of 37.5%. That would make this thing a beastly hybrid weapon. So to conclude, this is a fairly nice crossbow to have. It's bloody good, if I dare say. If you like the aesthetics and have the mods, then go for it. Try it out and see if you're comfortable with the firing modes. I'm not too fond of the burst mode, so personally I'm gonna sell this because I have other stuff to invest into, like the Batacore maybe. I have no idea what that'll perform like. It'll be a while before I can get my hands on that. This is a small channel unfortunately, and I can't get a head start over the other guys. I just have life to deal with, so be sure to hit like and get subbed, baby, for more Fortuna content coming real soon. I'm just waiting to guild my kit gun, because trust me guys, I've got one of the best kit gun setups, probably, and I can't wait to show you all as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. You guys keep me going every day. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.
And I'm in love with the word, show me what's up with me.